you'll hear just a pop, a click from inside. Something
From
like
her bones.
yes.
Yo.
The doctor is saying, okay, the heartbeat is coming back.
Your heartbeat.
Yes, my heartbeat. Do you realize that you were gone? Do you know that you were dead, actually? But can you see her legs? They are folded up. They're folded up until to her chest. A voice came and then it said, pull down the legs.
So you're not scared of hurting her by pulling the leg like that?
So I opened and then immediately just pulled down the legs. They popped.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of I Have Been Through the Most podcast. I'm Innocent.
And I'm Millicent.
And today we are celebrating 200K subscribers! So excited. We did it. We did it. And we did it all because of you. So thank you so much for your love and support. Thanks for sharing the videos, for commenting, for liking, for listening on all these platforms, which is YouTube, Spotify, as well as Apple Podcast. We love and appreciate you. This was actually our target for the end of the year.
Yes.
It's a few months before the end of the year, and we've managed to reach the target. So we will keep the content coming. You did your part. We're going to do our part, and keep it flowing like the water. Today we have an incredible guest. Her name is Happiness. She is here to share her story, and I hope that after this episode, you would have received your own happiness. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. Can you introduce yourself to our audience?
My name is Happiness Kunaka, a mother of 5 from Tembisa. And that's just about it.
Okay.
Yeah, currently working as a mom to an influencer, a 2-year-old influencer.
Oh, fancy.
Very fancy. And she keeps me on my toes. She's the one that actually brought me here today.
Okay.
Wow.
I mean, when you walked in earlier, the first person we see is your daughter.
She's
Looking
so cute.
so cute, all dressed up. I mean, me and my son were like, this is definitely a little influencer. She's got a handbag, cute shoes, and everything. So we love it. We love it for her. But I know there's a story behind where you are today. So much happened. So take us through your story.
So I'm a mom of 5, and my first daughter is actually my stepdaughter, right? And I've got a 15-year-old son. So Princess, the daughter, she comes after 3 boys.
Whoa.
Yes, she comes after 3 boys. So her story starts like this. I was praying after having the 3 boys. I kept on having this yearning of having a daughter. I wanted, yes, I do have my bonus daughter. I call it my bonus daughter. But I had this yearning in me that I would really love, to give birth to a daughter and, start from scratch with her, give her different hairstyles and things like that. So I kept on having sons. I had my 15-year-old. I had my 10-year-old, and then I had my 6-year-old. So after then, I started having miscarriages. When we kept on trying, me and the father, we had our first miscarriage. We tried again, we had our second miscarriage. We tried again, we had our 3rd miscarriage. And then the last miscarriage was a raptured ectopic. Now,
So sorry about that. So that's 4
yes,
miscarriages.
that's 4
like back to
miscarriages.
back. They
to
followed
back.
each other.
Yes.
That's hectic.
Yes. So the 3rd miscarriage we had because I had an infection which I didn't know. We went to the doctor. He didn't check on me. He just listened to what I told him. I gave him the symptoms. Then he gave me antibiotics, which were the cause of the miscarriage because they cleaned everything and flushed out. We didn't know I was pregnant. So just when the symptoms started kicking in, I took a test, found out that I was pregnant. The following day, I was bleeding. And then that was it. So third miscarriage, and then we went on to
Sorry. Okay. So then what caused the other 3 miscarriages? Do you know?
no, I don't know.
So you were never tested? There's no doctor that advised maybe this could be the reason?
With the first 2, the doctors just said it's normal, it happens.
Okay.
There's never an explanation as to what causes it. And then up until the 3rd one, and then that's when I found out that actually the antibiotics that I had taken were the ones that caused it.
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
So we had our raptured ectopic, and then by then I was just down and out, because here I am busy trying and praying and asking God for this daughter, but this daughter doesn't want to come. And then I remember with the ectopic, we actually went to the hospital because I had all the symptoms, the pregnancy symptoms, nausea, everything. When we went there it was a public hospital. We went to a public hospital, we went there, and the doctors checked sauna, and they couldn't find a fetal pole or anything. They couldn't. But now the tests kept on coming back and saying they're positive, there is a pregnancy. So up until the second opinion doctor comes in, and then she says, we can see that you definitely are pregnant, but the fact that we cannot find a fetal pole or a heartbeat, I think it might be too soon. Maybe go back home and then come back next week, and then next week we'll be able to tell. Probably there'll be a heartbeat and everything. So we go back home. I am in pain. There's this excruciating pain or on the left. And, I kept on telling myself, it's probably, yes, I am pregnant, but maybe I'm having another miscarriage. But now this time it was different because I was not bleeding. There was no bleeding. There was nothing. It was just this excruciating pain on the left. So we had to wait for next week. Next week comes, and then we go to the hospital. Again, it's sauna. The doctor says there's no fetus, there's nothing.
Yeah.
Up until she finally says, okay, maybe let's check on your tubes. And then immediately when she switches to my left tube, that's when she finds the fetus. The fetus is playing there, I could say, having fun.
How far along were you at this point?
The scan said it was 8 weeks.
8 weeks, okay.
Yes. So the fetus was there playing in the pool of blood, and there was nothing that they could do. So she says to me, had you slept today, you were not going to wake up. You were going to die because you are actually bleeding internally. So we have to rush you in to theater and get you cleaned up. So my thing is, I didn't know anything about, I don't know whether I should say, I didn't know anything about medicals and how they do it, but I was hoping that, okay, the baby's there, it's got a heartbeat, can we not maybe try
the baby to where it's supposed to be?
Yes. And then the doctor says, unfortunately, no, we're going to have to terminate. We can't do anything. So we go to theater, and I fall asleep, and then when I wake up, my baby's gone. So before I wake up, I felt this warmth. I was just so warm and in this deep, deep sleep. And then I hear them calling me. They're like, happiness, happiness, happiness. And I'm trying to continue sleeping, but it's just so comfortable. But this person is disturbing me. And then up until I go, because this person is disturbing me, and I just want to continue sleeping. And then I remember this nurse saying to me, wake up. Why do you want to go? Why do you want to leave your children? And then from the background, the doctor is saying, okay, the heartbeat is coming back.
Your heartbeat?
Yes, my heartbeat. So the nurse says, wake up. And then she starts tapping me on my thigh. She's like, wake up, wake up. You're very naughty. Why do you want to go and leave your children? You can't do that. Wake up. And then I'm still confused because now I was drowsy from the medication and everything. And I'm like, please let me sleep. She's like, no, we're not going to let you sleep because you want to go. So you can't go. And then the doctor says, okay, she's stable.
Because you were comfortable with that warmth, girl. You were going with the flow. On the other side, you're like,
I am
this
so
feels
warm.
peaceful.
I'm so peaceful. I'm gone. I am warm. And, So finally I wake up and then they give me a shot quickly. And then fine, fast forward, they give me medication. I come to, and then later the nurse tells me, do you realize that you were gone? Do you know that you were dead, actually? Because we were trying so hard to wake you up and you were not responding. It was a shock. And also a very sad moment because I kept on thinking about my children.
Yes.
And then finally I get discharged. I go back home. We get home, and then after a few months, I believe, again, infection symptoms. And then I'm like, to my husband, before I go and, go to the doctor and then get antibiotics and everything, maybe let's just firstly check, just in case. Then we get a pregnancy test, and then it comes back 2 lines. I'm pregnant. So I that day, I think I bought about close to 10 to 15 pregnancy tests.
What? Just make sure.
To just make sure, and also make sure if the lines are getting darker, because with the previous the miscarriages, the lines were not getting darker. So I would test almost every day just to make sure if the second line is getting darker. And when it starts getting lighter, then I know that something is definitely not right. So we went and then had to go the following week to the hospital to just make sure everything is fine. We get to the hospital, they run the tests, and then they're like, okay, yes, everything seems to be fine. You are pregnant. We have to get you for a sauna. I get on the bed, sauna, and again, the doctor says there's no fetal pole. There's nothing. So she asks for a second opinion, and then the other doctor comes. She checks, and then she's like, oh, I can see something, but it does not really seem to be pregnancy. This could be a molar pregnancy.
Sure.
So this growth is mimicking
A pregnancy.
So you're
but,
not.
okay, emotionally, what are you going through at this point? Because you have lost so many pregnancies before. You're still trusting and praying for a child.
A baby girl to be
specific.
Yeah.
And it seems like every time you come close, something wrong happens. Are you still excited? Are you giving up hope at this point? Like, emotionally, where are you?
I am actually almost at the end of stopping. I just want to stop. I'm done. When my family kept on saying, why don't you be grateful that you already have 3 sons and your body doesn't want to give you children anymore, so just be grateful to God that you already have 3 sons. At first I kept on trying because I had this yearning and I wanted this daughter. I wanted her. I needed her. And then lying there on that bed right there, and they say it's a molar pregnancy, and the doctor keeps on explaining, I am in pain. I just want to give up. I am done. I'm done trying.
Sure.
So the doctor says, okay, you can go home and then come back on Friday. It was a Monday. She says, come back on Friday, and then we're going to have to schedule you for another operation to remove this smaller pregnancy. Then I went home. When I got home, I didn't feel like, going to bed and crying all over again. But now something just kept on telling me, now you have to start praying. You have to pray more than you have prayed before. So I wake up the following morning. It was almost as if somebody had just said, wake up now.
Yeah.
I jump out of bed and then I say to my husband, you know what? We are going to pray. outside. We're going to go find a park. I just don't want to pray indoors. I want to go out. We went to a certain park. We went there, and then I started praying. I prayed until I lost words.
Sure.
So we made it a norm that now every day we're going to go there. It's either we go in the morning or in the afternoon. It was now our praying spot. We went there almost every day up until Thursday. Friday morning, I wake up, we pray again, and then we went to hospital. When we got there, we found a different doctor now. Seeing that doctor gave me hope, because at least it was not the lady that told me it could be a molar pregnancy and whatnot. I was deep down, I had this hope that, okay, this doctor might give me, good news.
Good news, yeah.
And then the doctor says, okay, he reads my file, he goes through my history, and then he says, okay, fine, go into the bed. I go into the bed, and then sauna again, and then he says to me, do you see that there on the screen? And then I'm like, yes. He says, that's your baby's heartbeat. That little flicker, that's your baby's heartbeat. And immediately I am crying. I am so happy. I jumped out of the bed and I went. I hugged him as if he's the one that is in the baby. I gave him a hug. I was thanking everybody that was there.
Yes.
The nurse, I was thanking her. I don't even know. Till today, I don't know. I feel so stupid because I don't even know why I was thanking her, but I kept on saying thank you to everyone. And then he looked at me and then he was like, what? But why are you thanking us? And I was like, I have been through a lot.
Yeah.
And right now, honestly speaking, I don't even care whether it's a boy or a girl. Yeah. I just want to hold my baby. I can't wait. Can we just fast forward to 9 months?
Exactly, yeah.
So here I am, normal pregnancy, everything is good. We go for a gender reveal and we find out it's a baby girl.
Yay.
That's a bonus. That's a bonus. And immediately I name her Princess Nkanyezi because she is my star. Okay, fine. 9 months comes and then we are at 39 weeks. By then I couldn't walk properly. I was waddling. I was in pain. My pelvic bone had dislocated. So whenever I would go to the hospital, because now they said after 38 weeks, I was now going for checkups at the hospital instead of the doctor. So I went there and then I would explain what was going on with my body. I can't walk. My legs are swollen. Pelvic floor is not holding. I just feel I'm done being pregnant. But now the doctors kept on saying, you need to carry until full term. There's nothing we can do.
So you're 39 weeks. They want you to just hang in there for 1 more week. Until you're 40 weeks.
Until I'm 40 weeks.
But you can feel that.
Because her pelvic bone was, like, I can even say, like, broken.
Yes.
Almost. Because it's not normal anymore. So I can imagine walking is an impossible exercise.
There was a burning sensation between the bones. I felt as if the bones were almost like,
rubbing
on each other when I was walking. So I remember even Googling, trying to see if maybe I could get a wheelchair to move me around. That's how bad the pain was. So I go to my doctor and then I explain everything that's going on. Then he says to me, unfortunately, there's nothing that the hospital can do. They are going to insist that you have to wait until she comes naturally. And then he writes me a letter explaining the whole situation that's going on. I get home, I read the letter, and then something says to me, you know what, there's something wrong, because when the baby plays, when she was playing inside, it didn't feel normal. Her kicks and the way that she was playing was just not normal, especially given the fact that, you know, I've had
You've had children.
children, so I know how a baby
Yes.
should be playing. So the sauna that we had on her gender reveal was very funny because she was playing with her legs, almost as if in a running position.
Okay.
But now, close to the 40 weeks, the way that she would play, I would really hear her bones pop inside. So when you're silently sleeping, you're
How?
like, you know, when you're in bed,
Sure.
and you know,
Yes.
let's say it's during
quiet.
the night, it's quiet, and then you hear just a pop, a click from inside, something
From
like
her bones.
yes.
Yeah.
So I tried explaining it to the doctor, and he laughed at me. He was like, "No, maybe she's burping or something. You know, it's normal for babies. You can hear sounds, especially when it's quiet."
Sure.
So this thing kept on telling me there's something wrong.
A
There's-
mom's instinct is
Instinct.
never wrong.
Exactly.
We're trying to tell the doctors, like, we respect what you do, but
This
please
is what
just
I'm
also
going
listen
through.
to me.
Because I can feel that there's something. And I always say she started communicating with me when she was in me. Because I kept on feeling, she kept on telling me that, "Mommy, I'm not fine. I'm not okay."
Yeah.
So I took the letter that the doctor wrote and then edit. And now I had to now forge his handwriting because I
Yeah.
want the hospital to take me seriously.
Because this doctor didn't see an emergency, but you know this is an emergency.
Yes.
And you knew you had to get an emergency Caesar.
Yes.
So you didn't
Can't
want to
wait.
wait until you get into labor naturally.
Well, yeah, the hospitals were pushing for a natural labor.
I see. Natural birth.
Yes,
Yeah.
a natural birth, and the doctor was also agreeing with them that we should wait for her to come naturally. But now she was saying, "I'm not in a perfect position to come." So I now had to forge his handwriting and write. Went to Google,
Yeah.
Googled all the symptoms that I had.
Yes.
Found out the term for it was PSD. Yeah, no, it was SPD, symphysis pubis disorder. So now I had to find all the terms that doctors use so that when they read, they are going
makes
to,
sense.
yeah, it's definitely going to make sense and they're going to believe it's him. I wrote, you need to perform a C-section immediately. This
Like,
is an emergency.
What?
Yes. So I get
Sure.
there. It's 40 weeks. No, it was 39 weeks. 40 weeks is next week. Her birthday was supposed to be on the 21st of December, which was on a Monday. So I get there a few days before the week was about to end. I'm admitting myself.
You risked
Yes,
it, girl.
girl.
You risked it. You're like, you risked it. She was
Yeah.
like, yo.
I go there, I give them my letter from my doctor, and then they read, and then they're like, "Oh, what's this term?" So I was very shocked because when the nurses would open my file, some didn't even know the term. So they would ask me what was the
What condition is this?
Yeah. So I had to explain, and then I remember this other nurse was like, "Yeah, some people like to be crybabies. Like, why would you even, this is normal for a pregnant woman. It's very normal. We've been through this, we've seen this, and it's normal." So the doctor finally agrees, and then she gives me a go ahead. She says, "Okay, fine. Monday we're going for C-section." I'm so happy. We waited. I was admitted. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday morning they come, they get me ready. I'm so happy and nervous at the same time. I'm going to finally meet the stranger that was in me. And then we get to theater, they get me ready. It's done, and then they scream, "It's a girl."
Did you ask them to scream?
Yes, I did.
Oh, you're so dramatic.
I did. They actually.
That time she knew the gender, but you know what? Like this girl.
Oh, you wanted them to confirm.
Yes, I wanted them to confirm.
for the moment you've been waiting for all your life.
Girl, I've been hearing stories whereby they say sonars can be wrong, and
Oh.
so I just wanted to be sure.
Just like in the movies, it's a girl.
Yes. So this one friendly nurse was like, "What is it that you want us to do to just confirm it's a girl?" And then I said, Just shout at the top of your lungs and just say, "It's a girl." Immediately when she came out, they screamed. Everybody screamed. And it's a girl. But now, after a few minutes, they look at each other and then they go silent. And then I start worrying because she was not much of a crier. So she was like, she cried, and then everybody just went silent, including her. And then I'm like, please don't tell me I can't be losing this one too. And then the doctors take her to get cleaned, and then they show her to me, but not like the usual, when they bring your baby here to meet your baby, and then they were like from a distance, and then they were like, "Can you see your baby?" And then I said, "Yes, can I hold her?" And they said, "Can you see her legs?" And then I said, "Yes, but can I hold her?" Then they said, they look at each other, and then they're like, "Okay, no, we're just going to get her ready. And then once you're also stitched up and done, you're going to meet her that side." Then I'm like, "Oh, okay, fine." She's there. While they're busy with her, I can still hear her cry a bit, and she's okay. And then immediately they move her away. And then I'm like, "Oh, maybe she's tired or something. I don't know."
Yeah.
Later, the Caesar was done at around 9:30 in the morning. I waited until 3 to meet her.
PM?
PM. The nurse comes, she brings her, and still they're holding her in this
Awkward position.
She's not wrapped up like every other baby. And then her legs are sticking out. And then she says, "Here's your baby. Are you Happiness?" And then I say, "Yes." Then she says, "Here's your baby." So they're holding her in this awkward position. And then the nurse says, "Can you see her feet?" Her legs, actually. And then I'm like, yes, I can. Can I breastfeed her?
So you're saying yes, but it seems like you're not seeing what they're saying you should see, because for the past couple of hours they've been saying, "Can you see her?" And you're like, "Yes, but they can see." You're not seeing what they
exactly
trying to say.
Which is why everybody kept on posing and staring at me in a funny manner, because I'm now thinking they wanted me to react in a certain way, probably maybe start crying or think. So when they showed her to me, I saw her legs, but it didn't bother me because of the excitement. I was too excited to finally have her.
A baby girl.
So up until the nurse brings her close, and then she explains, she shows me her legs, and then she says, "The doctor says she's going to come and explain what exactly is happening, but can you see her legs? They're folded up until to her chest like this." So it's almost as if the knee is inside out. So now the doctor is going to come and explain what's going on. But from what I heard, she might not be able to be mobile like every other normal child. Then I said, "Okay, can I finally breastfeed her?" I still don't care.
You like, they don't get you. They don't get where you at. You just like, "I got my baby blessing here." Okay.
I'm on cloud 9. I don't. And immediately after she explained everything and then she gave her to me, when I breastfed her, I kept on now visualizing myself carrying her, and she is maybe now 5 years old, and we're helping her to go to the toilet. And, to me, I was already thinking for the future and preparing myself. But I was not sad.
You're okay.
I was okay. I was fine. I was happy. She's mine. She's my daughter.
So sweet.
And then we
It's so sweet.
we go into the ward. Now I have to dress her. But now her legs are
Sure.
on her chest. A voice came, and then it said, "Pull down the legs now." So she was on on her cot, still wrapped in the sheets and everything. So I opened and then immediately just pulled down the legs. They popped, and when they popped, the same sound that the both the knees made was the same sound that I was hearing from in there.
So you're not scared of hurting her by pulling the leg like that?
Till today, I won't tell you where I got the bravery, but I was
You knew
You
you
were
had to
led.
do it then.
yeah.
Something led you
This
to do
voice
it.
just told me, you know, you need to pull down these legs, because
Now.
how are you going to dress this baby? Your baby's here, fine, the legs are here,
Sure.
but now how are you going to, because if ever you keep on nursing this, troubles are gonna come. So just pull down the legs now. And then immediately when I pulled them down, they popped. She cried. Her knees were green, super green, because of the blood not circulating on the knees. So I pulled down, and then she starts crying. But because she's not much of a crier, she keeps quiet again. So I dress her up quickly, and you know, she's quiet again. So I'm like, oh, okay, I fixed it. She's okay, she's fine. And then the nurse comes later on, and then only to find her that the legs are now straight. And then she asks, what happened? What's going on?
Oh.
What did you do? And then I just said, no, I just pulled the leg. So I was in shock also myself, and then I thought maybe I had broken her or something.
Yes.
Because now, you know, with normal babies, when they're about to cry, they start, kicking.
Yeah.
And so she never kicked. And so the nurse said, are you sure? And then I said, yes. And then she says, we're going to have to speak to the doctor. Fine, I continue. But now this voice keeps on saying, you have to continue rubbing the knees. So whenever you change her nappy, make sure that you rub the knees with Vaseline. So Vaseline was all that I had. We're still in hospital. So I rubbed her knees every day, and I prayed. I would pray. I prayed. Every nappy change that we had, I had to rub her knees and pray.
Wait, what did the doctor say?
The doctor
Did
only
they go and check the baby after you? I don't even know what to call it. It's like after you did your own surgery, Dr. Mommy.
The doctor only came later. It was around 6 p.m., I believe. That's when she came. And when she came, she didn't even notice that there was a change or something different. She just came because she came with a file, and she knew my history and everything. And then because she was rolled up and sleeping there, she started explaining, your baby might not be mobile like every other child. Basically, she was breech, so she was going to come bum first instead of head down. So she explains, but now this can be reversed through surgery and things like that. I really can't remember word for word, because everything was just blocked out. I was just still floating in my cloud 9. I didn't care. So she explains, and then she says, because now it's December, we're going to schedule you for January. And then the doctors that are meant for these types of situations are the ones that are going to be seeing you. Then I'm like, okay, it's okay. Thank you. She leaves. We continue with our little prayer session with my baby. And then I keep on laying her on her belly so that the legs don't come up, because when she's laying faced up, when she starts stretching, she feels the pain, and then she starts crying, and you would actually see her shake from the pain. So I had to lay her on her tummy up until we are discharged. We go home, we continue with our praying and rubbing her knees up until January comes. When January comes, her legs were fully normal. Her knees were now used to moving and kicking, and she was okay. So when we went to the doctor that we had an appointment with,
Which is supposed to be for surgery.
yes, he gave her a check, and he was like, is this the same baby? And then I said, yes, this is her. She says, you're Happiness. And then I said, yes. He says, that's Princess. And then I said, yes. He says, but she's not supposed to be like this. Her legs are supposed to be
Facing the other
the
direction.
other direction.
Completely, yeah.
What happened? Then I said, I don't know.
You pulled it down. That's what happened.
I was like, I don't know.
God.
So he checks on her and he's like, everything looks fine. She's 100%. She's okay. She can move. She's fine. She's fully mobile. And that's when I knew.
Oh my gosh. Hi, Princess. Oh my God. And she just walked here. Baby. Hi, Miss Influencer. Looking all cute with a little handbag.
Yeah, she was sleeping.
She just woke up and she's like, you know what?Ey're talking about me. I think it's a good time to walk in.
So
wow.
The doctors were just amazed because they knew that she might not be mobile and things like that. So fast forward, this is her. Then I decided, okay, I need to tell her story.
Yeah.
I opened a page for her and then I posted her pictures. And funny enough, I got a lot of response from mummies that were also going through the same. And some also had to go under surgery and the legs were either corrected or some were not corrected. But it was a big story. So a lot of mummies kept on saying, you've given us hope because girl, we were so worried.
Yeah.
So in my heart, I kept on feeling, there might be a mummy out there that might have got shocked and decided, this is too big for me. This is too much. I'm just gonna leave this baby here and I'm out. But God was there. God was definitely with me.
And
there
that voice,
through it all.
I think God literally took you through that journey. So that, I'll call it a prayer closet that you and your partner created to go and pray. I think that definitely contributed to this as well. But I salute you for your courage, for your strength, for your faith, and for believing and for loving your child unconditionally, even before you met her, and God answered your prayers. And I pray even for those people who are still believing in God to bless them with that miracle that they've been praying for so many years. It's possible. It's real. It happened for Happiness, and today she's got her little princess. So well done and congratulations.
Yes.
There was a princess at last. Yes. But listen, disclaimer. Let's put this disclaimer out there. Guys, do not pull your kids' legs. Because, we call the doctor. It worked for you. You had a voice and it worked, and you followed, that mom instinct.
Yes.
And you followed that voice. But do the right thing.
Yeah.
We don't want mistakes. Don't say, hey, I had it on the show, and then when my baby's born like this, I'm just going to pull the legs.
Please don't.
Don't do that. But I am so happy that, you have your answered prayer right in your hands. She's absolutely gorgeous. We're going to follow her on Instagram.
Yes, girl.
And on TikTok, on her social media platforms, just to help her grow as an influencer. And you're doing an incredible job, Mommy. Well done. And congratulations once again. We appreciate you sharing your story, sharing hope. This is what the show is all about. You've been through the most, but you are standing. Come on now. Thank you so much for following us on all our social media platforms. Please do continue to follow us on Instagram, TikTok. We are there popping and making sure that we are relevant and on time. Please also listen to this podcast on Spotify as well as Apple Play. Thank you so much from myself, Innocent, and myself, Millicent, and our awesome guest, Princess and Happiness. It's bye for now.